Hey, this is Joey, the Special Events and Social Media Manager of Gotham Central, and you are listening to the True North Country Comics Podcast.
Welcome to the True North Country Comics Podcast, dedicated to promote Canadian comic book and graphic novel creators and supporters. I'm John Swinimer. If you want to drop me a line, you can contact me at john@truenorthcountrycomics.com. On this episode, I chat with Jowy about Gotham Central Comics' 10th Anniversary Bash. This podcast is available on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. It's also available on the True North Country Comics channel on YouTube. I invite you to like and subscribe and hit the notification button. Jowy is a special event and social media manager at Gotham Central Comics. Gotham Central Comics is a comics and collectible shop in Mississauga, Ontario. The shop's doors opened on January 21st, 2012, and have since expanded to 7,000 square feet in 2016. In 2018, Gotham Central received the 2018 Harry Kramer Award for retailers at the Joe Shuster Awards. That's a Canadian national association that recognizes Canadian talent in creating, self-publishing, and selling comics. Owner-operator Carlos Camara is humbled in this recognition and continues to bring the best services, products, and local events to bring together the creator community. And so, without further ado, here's my chat with Jowy about Gotham Central Comics' 10th Anniversary Bash. So Jowy, thank you very much for taking time to chat with me.
Thank you so much. It's been so long, John.
It has been a while, that's for sure. That's for sure. We're here talking about Gotham Central Comics and the 10th Anniversary Bash. But before we get going with all that, I want to know what's on your bedside reading table. What are you reading today?
Oh, well, tonight, hopefully, I get to read a little bit of the DC Pride stuff. Actually, I came from Gotham about 3 hours ago, and I found the DC Pride stuff just, perfectly beautiful in our shelves. And so, of course, I had to pick it up. Mm-hmm. And I'm also really looking forward to Dark Crisis.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Big event for the year. That's for sure. Good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff. Well, since we last spoke, you've been busy with a lot of projects. I tell you, you've been so busy with so much stuff, but now you're back at Gotham Central Comics. So I want to know, how did you find your way back to Gotham Central and what's your role there now?
I knocked on the door and I asked Carlos, hey, do you need help over there? Which he did. So gladly, that's how it worked out. But I missed Gotham Central like so much. I saw them through the pandemic, just kind of still doing it. You know what I mean? Like still rocking it with Be Our Heroes Canada alongside Heroes World and The Dragon. And I was missing creativity, I think. Sometimes when you're creative, I kind of find that if you don't get to use that part of your brain, you get overly exhausted with stuff like mundane stuff like spreadsheets and answering emails and project managing. And hey, those are all great things. I love doing all those things. But being a part of a community like Gotham Central is where home is for me. So, I was still a customer all these years. And finally, I kind of saw Carlos' social media stuff, and I figured, you know what? I got to stop running away from things that I'm good at. So let's help out Gotham Central once again with social media and special events.
Sure.
And so now I'm back at a little bit of a part-time capacity. I work remotely a lot, but I help Carlos out with special events, getting the word out there about Gotham Central, and kind of being back during the weekends and seeing all of our great customers again, and taking all the social media lead away from him because he's really, really busy. I happen to be really, really good at it. So, Hey, you know what? Why not? Let's come back and be part of the family.
That's it, exactly. Every time I'm there, Carlos is just swamped. Like, that's a good thing. That's in a good way. But yeah, definitely it's nice to have extra help, I'm sure, to get the word out. So you touched on pandemic there for a wee bit. I know they're not quite through it yet. But in this day and age, I know that a lot of comic book shops have struggled to get through this and try to meet customers' needs. I'm wondering, can you sort of provide sort of a glimpse of what Gotham Central Comics did to weather the storm during the pandemic?
They were strong, man. John, if there was any other store out there that I could vouch for it during the pandemic, it's not just because Gotham Central is my home store and that I have friends that go there, but Gotham Central did the curbside pickup like everybody else. But I think that we found a footing in online sales as well. If right now, what I can tell all the other comic book stores, all the other creators out there, is that social media does so much for you. And I know that a lot of people are not in it in a personal capacity, but they're in it through a business capacity. But it's such an important thing to get in touch with, reaching out to people who are missing comics, missing the culture, missing their trades, missing their weekly issues. And what better way to showcase it but online, right? It's a whole other business out there these days. Without social media, the pandemic would have been more of a disaster than what it was, and sure, Carlos is one of those guys that, hey, what's new? What can I do to reach out to people more? And he did as much as he could with social media. We have essential stuff. I don't want to say it's essential because it's not a grocery item per se, but it's specialty snacks from the U.S. Or from overseas. We're pretty much known to be the go-to for specialty Oreos and fun little snacks like Cow Tails and old school cereal stuff like Count Chocolate stuff alongside the comics. So I think that we really shined in the pandemic because we showcased ourselves in social media and still offered our services through shipping and through, keeping the distance and just being patient. It's certainly not over. The pandemic is not really over. But I think we have to create that normalcy now, bringing events back, bringing Magic the Gathering back in the store, and doing a lot more community outreach.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's great to have Gotham Central and other comic book stores available because it gave us a diversion from the reality of the day. So I think it was a nice thing, and it's nice that Carlos kept the business going and kept the customers satisfied with more than satisfied with what the store offers. So with that in mind, what is Gotham Central up to these days? I know there's a lot of stuff going on, but what's going on?
There's so much things, actually. So we're working on the birthday bash right now. We've just finished Niagara Falls Comic Con. So when I said we were full-fledged back, we really, really are back. If there's anything Gotham is known for, it's special events and it's big, big stuff in conventions. So what's going on right now is that we're trying to bring Magic the Gathering back to the way that it was post-pandemic. So that means all the standards and commanders, all the players that we typically have. I hope you guys are listening and I hope you guys come back. I know you guys will because we're totally making room for it. We also have our June 25th and June 26th event. That's going to be in-store, both indoors and outdoors. We're going to have an artist alley filled with all the Gotham family artists that we usually have. I can even name some of you because I know some of them have confirmed. We're going to have street food, barbecue-style stuff again over at the parking lot. We're even going to have live wrestling.
Wow.
It's going to be so insane. But, I mean, why not celebrate that 10th birthday like how you're supposed to, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's for sure. I remember, I don't want to say before times, but certainly Gotham Central has a very unique space. And for those who are not familiar with it, there's a great collection of comic books on one side, yet an open space on the other that could be repurposed for anything, right? It's a great opportunity. Yeah.
That's actually my favorite part of the store is that we're kind of like Jenga pieces that you could just move depending on the new ideas that Carlos comes up with. He's like, okay, you know what? We're going to have it indoor and outdoor. And because I wasn't there during the time we did any outdoor events, I was like, what do you mean outdoor? Where do we put the cars? It's like, don't worry, we'll figure it out. And a man of ideas and a man who could certainly put the Lego pieces where they need to be. But it's going to be a huge, if you can imagine a huge tent of, that can hold like 25-ish artists. Line up the tables, we round them, and then we just have everybody table like it was some sort of like mini con of events. So it's gonna be really great. We're even gonna have a cosplay contest. We're gonna have a DJ come up. We're gonna have a face painter. It's gonna be an insane day.
That sounds like it's going to be fun, that's for sure. And 10 years is something to definitely celebrate. Now, you hinted that you might be able to talk about some of the artists who will be there. Is that true, or is that still something to be decided?
Oh, no. We've certainly got some big names, that confirmed with me already just about a few days ago. So just to give you a little bit of that, Jason Fabok is going to be in town. So he's going to show up on Saturday. He's going to be doing some signings as well for all of you Three Joker fans out there. We're also going to have Sean Daly. We're going to have Jason Lowe. And we're going to have, oh my gosh, like Hugh Rookwood. We're going to have Marvin Law, who hasn't come out to an event for a long time. He's going to be with us as well. My friend Andrew Thomas, of course. We're going to have Becca Kinsey, Casey Parsons, Arnold Trinidad, Daniel Wong, George Todorovsky, and Renee Vrins. I'm sorry, Renee. I'm going to learn how to say your name. I swear to God. We're also going to have Jason LaRouche, Jonathan Kakuba. See, I can say Kakuba fine. I don't know what happened with Renee there. Locke Nguyen, who hasn't been in an event for a very long time as well, will be joining us. Megan Huang, who I'm so proud of. You're doing such great coloring and movement work. Michael Simbajon. I said that the correct Filipino way as well. A lot of people say Michael Simbajon. It's Michael Simbajon. And Mike Ruth is going to be there. Mike, I hope you're doing well. Oliver Castañeda, R.B. White, Ricky Lima, Rico Valdez, Sam Noir. Oh my gosh, I can still keep going.
That's a lot. Oh my gosh.
Daniel Wong is going to be here as well. Stephanie Cook is going to be here for one day as well.
Nice.
But Christina D is going to be here as well. So those are just some of the artists that are going to be showing up for Saturday and Sunday.
Man, that's a convention itself right there.
We should just call it Gotham Con at the moving forward.
That's right, exactly. Well, I remember not too long ago, I was there for the Free Comic Book Day, and you literally had people out the door. So I can imagine this is going to be 10 times bigger and more fantastic. So it sounds like there's a lot going on for sure.
I know. When I saw you that day, it wasn't really supposed to be the kind of weather that is that warm, but it's a whole other temperature in Gotham Central. We have like our own little time zone and climate zone there whenever we have an event, because Saturdays we open at 11. We had a lineup right at 9 o'clock, touched all the way to Aimco's curbside.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, very strong audience participation, customer interest. Yeah. So I think it's going to be even more intense come for the birthday bash, that's for sure. I want to talk to you about something I think I heard as a rumor, and I don't know if you can confirm it, but there's the Eisner Award nomination for Spirit of Comics Retailer World that's coming up at International San Diego Comic-Con. Can you talk about that?
Well, it's not a secret, I'll tell you that. And it's not a rumor at all. I mean, maybe it was a rumor at one point, but it's certainly not a rumor now because I produced the video for it. Or else I'd be like, Carlos, did I just do something that I wasn't supposed to? No, it's totally real. We are so honored. And on behalf of Gotham Central, Eisner, if you're listening, on behalf of Carlos and Gotham Central, thank you so much for that nomination. All of our stuff is submitted. It's on YouTube. I'll send you a link for it as well. We are nominated for the 2022 Spirit of Comics Award by Will Eisner.
That's amazing.
And it's the award, John. Like it's the award that anybody in the comic book retailing world would want to have. The Dragon had it 2018, and I think it's our turn. It's definitely not a rumor. We are definitely nominated, and we're definitely going to get it.
Well, congratulations on that. But for those not familiar with this award, how would you explain it to someone?
The Eisner Award is kind of like is the biggest award that you can ever get as a comic book retailer. It's basically San Diego Comic-Con for all of us. Whether you are in the States, whether you are in Canada, it is the home base of comic book world. You know, when you go to San Diego Comic-Con, it's the biggest stars in the superhero movie world in Marvel and DC, all the way down to, indie creators and artists. And alongside that would be us, which would be your retailers. Once you get this award, you can't get it again, by the way. It's kind of like a one and done kind of thing.
Sure.
But it's basically how you would say it's kind of our Oscars.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And you cannot fathom getting a bigger award as a comic book retailer than
Absolutely.
the Spirit of Comics Retailer Award.
That's tremendous. So fingers crossed. Hopefully everything goes well. But it's great to be nominated, though. A great company. There's a lot of great retailers who are recognized, and it's a great honor just to be nominated. I know that sounds like a cliche, but it's definitely true, because they only recognize the best, the cream of the crop. So tremendous.
Absolutely.
Good. Congratulations on that. For those people who might be listening overseas or elsewhere, where can someone find Gotham Central Comics? Where is it located, both physically and online?
So for those of you who are not in the Mississauga region or the Greater Toronto area, Gotham Central is in Mississauga with the main intersection of Dixie and 401. But if you are local in Mississauga, you know us morely towards Dixie and Eglinton area. We're located at 1400 Aimco Boulevard, Unit 1. And once you get into that plaza, you'll know exactly where Gotham Central is, because we have our Gotham Central van parked at the curbside with the graffiti of Batman, and it says Gotham Central. You really won't miss us. And we're also the biggest store over at that plaza. If you are looking for us online, all of our social handles are at Gotham Central CC. CC stands for Comics and Collectibles, of course. You can find us over at Instagram, and you can find us over at Facebook. Again, that's at Gotham Central CC. And you can also buy our comics and collectibles online over at GothamCentralComics.com.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I should mention that it's probably the closest comic book store to the Toronto Pearson Airport. So if someone has a layover and they have a itch for getting some comic books, it's only minutes away. Certainly for anyone who's got a layover or they're looking for something to do, it's mere minutes away from the airport. So that's tremendous.
Absolutely. It's only 12 minutes away from Pearson. And guys, I know that you will find us. Trust me. It's you type in Google Gotham Central. Trust me, we'll probably be the first people there.
There you go. Well, Joey, those are all the questions I have. But I'm wondering, is there something I didn't ask that you'd like to get across in this interview?
Well, you know what, guys? I am a sole believer in support local. And the last thing that I want you guys to take away is to keep supporting us. Comic book retailers are very important to the hobby community. Whether you are someone who is a weekly comic reader to a trade paperback reader, keep talking to the staff members, keep asking them, what are your recommendations? Because we gotta support local, or else we all disappear, right? So go into any comic book shop that is, close to you. It doesn't have to be Gotham Central, but keep on supporting the creator community, whether you are in comic book stores or in Comic-Con. Buy from Artist Alley. Just keep on supporting local, guys.
Thanks to Joey for the chat. You can discover more about Joey on Twitter at The Cap Canary. You can discover more about Gotham Central Comics on Twitter and Instagram at Gotham Central CC and online at GothamCentralComics.com. And thanks to you for listening to the True North Country Comics podcast. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to and like this podcast on Apple Podcasts, and please leave a good rating. Also check out the TrueNorthCountryComics.com website and follow along on Twitter at True North Comics. True North Country Comics is now on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to the video channel and hit the notification button. Please send your feedback to John at TrueNorthCountryComics.com. Thanks again for listening, and come back soon for another episode. Bye for now. True North Country Comics Podcast is copyright True North Country Comics, copyright 2022.